There is no country in Africa that can face a competition with the Igbos, or there is no country in Africa that can compete with the Igbos. Is this a fear for a tribe that can thrive without permission? What they can suppress, they call it evil. I know that what I'm saying might not suit well to many of us, like majority of us, but that remains the fact. Starting from what is happening in Ghana, Igbo must go in Ghana. I've been watching several videos, several statements, several comments from people. I have tried my best to know what the Igbo people has done, but I keep hearing comments like, Igbo people wants to dominate us. They like domination. Anywhere they go, they will try to dominate. In businesses, in everything. I was like, what is really happening? Then I realized that the problem of Africa is problem of competition. Africa lacks competition. That is why Africa is not progressing. There is no competition in Africa. And the only country or the only tribe in Africa that can compete, no matter to what extent, is the Igbos. That is why whenever you see them, wherever they will go and compete. They will compete and make sure that they get to the top. And that is what Africa needs. Africa lacks the ingredients of competition. When it comes to Nigeria, they will also say the same thing, that Igbos are dominating. They want to dominate. They will always try to dominate. Look at both in business and in everywhere. And my question, or the question I keep asking people saying this is that, how is Igbo trying to dominate you? When you are talking about domination, Igbos are not trying to dominate you with arms. Igbos are not picking up arms. Rather, they are doing well. That is what they call domination. And these people are a set of people that are scared of competition. Most comments used to come from my Yoruba brothers. They will say that Igbos, don't allow an Igbo man to get to the top. Don't employ an Igbo man trying to tarnish the image of the Igbos. They will tell you that Igbos are bad people. When you ask them what is their offense, they will tell you that they like dominating. They like domination. Is domination an offense? Is competition an offense? Yes, it is in the blood of the Igbos to compete because they don't see themselves less. Rather, they see themselves superior. That is why wherever you see them, in whatever position you will see them, they will try to compete. They want to get to the top. And that is what Africa needs to survive. If Africa will embrace the spirit of the Igbos, Africa will be a better place. But Africa lacks competition. And that is the major setback Africa is facing. Now, let me tell you something. The recent happening in Ghana, which is tagged Igbo must go. To some persons or to some individuals, they might think that this situation is sponsored by the Ghanaians. But no, unless you don't have eyes to see, this situation is sponsored by Nigerians. A certain tribe or a political party, they want to talk down on a particular tribe because they don't want the tribe to be successful. Because they don't want the tribe to compete for Nigerian presidency, because they know that the tribe, that the man standing for the tribe deserve it, and they are scared of what this man will do. Therefore, they want to tarnish the image of the Igbos, trying to portray the Igbos as people who love domination, try to create bad image, bad name, so that the Igbos, so that Nigerians might say, look at the Igbos, wherever they go, they are causing problems. Therefore, they will not vote for this certain man. That is the case of Peter Obi. Yes, these people sponsoring Igbo must go. It is targeted on Peter Obi because of the 2027 presidential election. They want to talk down on the tribe so that other tribes in Nigeria will say that this man will not be president of Nigeria because the Igbos, they like domination, they like causing problems. If they can cause problems in other people's country, what will happen if you give them the president of Nigeria? Now you understand the game. It's a mind game. But let me blow your mind. I don't want Peter Obi to be the president of Nigeria. Yes, I know that if Peter Obi eventually becomes the president of Nigeria, he will do better. I trust him. He will do better. But there is some reasons I don't want Peter Obi to become the president of Nigeria. I want the Igbo people to go back to their states. Eventually, if the Igbo people go back to their states and develop their states, reside in their states, be a sovereign state, let me tell you something, let me shock you. There is no country in Africa that can compete with the Igbos. Because even being hated, No country, no tribe is competing with them. Every tribe is scared of them. But let me tell you something. There is only one tribe that can stand a competition from the Igbos. This tribe that can start a competition, you people might discredit me or wouldn't like what I'm saying. But I am trying to tell you the fact. Because this tribe has already been facing challenge from the Igbos. But for one day, you've never heard it from them that Igbo must go. That is the Hausa tribe. Hausa people can face the competition from the Igbos. Now, let me come back to the Igbo must go in Ghana. The reason why Ghanaians are saying Igbo must go. I've seen everything despite being sponsored. But I saw lack of competition. Ghanaians cannot compete. Of course, they cannot compete because it's very funny to say that a tribe that is not up to 1/4 of your population will take over your country. Is this not crazy? Is this not sounding crazy? Like, how can Igbo people take over Ghana? A tribe that is not up to 1/4 of your population, which means you cannot compete with them. You cannot compete. It's very obvious. They lack competition. And this is not just the problem with Ghanaians. This is the problems of Africa. This is the problem of Africa. Africa lack competition. Yes, Africa lack competition. For Africa to be successful, Africa must stand up and compete. And they must embrace the spirit of Igbos, which is the spirit of competition. Igbos can compete. Yes, for those of you who have been in Igbo land or who has visited Igbo land, have you ever lived in Igbo land? They will tell you go back to your region because they know that you cannot face a competition with them. Even if you are doing business in Igbo land, nobody will tackle you. Nobody will tell you that you are trying to dominate them. They will just leave you. Do your business. Let us do our own. When you do your business, I will do my business. We will know who will run out of goods. We will know who will first close his shop. So this is the spirit of Igbos. Igbos can stand up and march to a competition. But other tribes in Africa, their competitive IQ is limited. But Igbos are not limited when it comes to competition. If you like, take them to United States of America. They will go there and compete. That should be the spirit of Africa.